Hello there, everybody, and today for Beavis and Butthead, we got 2 crazy new episodes, so let's talk about it. So, this episode is called $1 Million an Award. I think that's what it's called. My bad if I got the title wrong. This is where Beavis and Butthead, the old versions, decide that they want to win an award after seeing a wanted poster of a criminal, and they misinterpret it as if they capture the person, they will get $1 million, even though the wanted poster only says $10,000. But the duo decide to tell the police officer at the receptionist desk that Beavis has committed a crime, and he's like, "What crime?" And then the two walk away and try to come up with something, and then they say, "Spanking my monkey." And the cop just says, "That's not a crime." But so they decide to come up with a different crime, that being vandalism. Because one of the other cops was saying there's been reports of some graffiti going around town. And Beavis and Butthead decide to confess that it was Beavis who was behind the crime. And so the cops arrest them. And so they arrest Beavis, and he goes to court. And the rest of the episode is just them in court. It's hilarious. Basically, they have a lawyer, and he actually gives them hope that they'll clear the charges for Beavis. But, of course, Butthead is just cheering Beavis on, saying they're going to win some money. But, of course, they're misinterpreting the whole thing, per usual, and then the judge says that they're not going to win any money. They'll go to jail if found guilty, and then they just time jump a lot until they show footage of Beavis and Butthead actually committing vandalism near the Maxi Mart, and now they're found guilty by the jury, and then the lawyer just gives up. He just gives up on them. And the two end up getting arrested. And Butthead's confused why he's getting arrested. But the two are taken away. And that's the episode. So this episode was definitely hilarious. Just seeing Beavis and Butthead just be stupid per usual. And they just think they can get away with a crime. They almost got out scot-free. But of course they didn't. And it just ends with them getting arrested. It would have been even funnier if we see them in a jail cell, and then the episode just ends. But the music videos they react to, I think they react to a music video. I forget what it was. But the next episode's an interesting one. It's called Get Well Soon. This is where the duo noticed that Cody is getting a lot of attention for his cast. On his arm, a bunch of girls are signing it. So Beavis and Butthead come up with an idea to break Butthead's arm, and they must do this so they can find a way to get a cast, and then get girls to sign their arm. But of course, Butthead is trying to get Beavis to break his arm, but it just doesn't work. And they even walk past Van Driesen when complaining about learning in school, even though the duo can care less what goes on in school. But they decide to do something even dangerous. They decide to have Beavis ride his bike over Butthead's arm, and so he could crush it to death and break it. But of course, Beavis just happens to be riding so fast that a car comes speeding nearby, hitting Beavis, causing him to get injured, and his injuries are pretty fatal. He has a broken arm, and he's dizzy. And, of course, Butthead says, I feel fine. But the duo decide to go to a warehouse and try to find a way to break the arm. But they notice a maintenance man working at the warehouse is using the machine that will, basically, like a little mini elevator. I think you know what I'm talking about. But, of course, the duo misinterpret it, and Butthead has Beavis go onto the machine, and he clicks the wrong button, causing the elevator to go all the way up, and Butthead almost gets his arm crush, but of course not. But then Beavis accidentally hits more buttons, causing the thing to roll off into the street, and he causes a massive traffic jam. And it's even worse than how it was in Do America. Like, cars are just colliding on each other, almost hitting Beavis, and he almost falls off multiple times. He gets hit by a street sign, a traffic light, what I meant to say, but it takes a wild turn when he heads towards a farm, and Beavis gets hit by some electric wires, and he flies off. He somehow magically survives it. Since Beavis and Butthead have reflexes that are so fast that they can barely even notice when they get hurt, and that's how they're able to survive traffic jams. But of course, Beavis gets hit by a car again. Somehow he was magically healed when he went to the warehouse. But the episode ends with Beavis in a body cast, and Butthead decides to visit him, and Beavis is wondering who's going to write the notes on his cast, but Butthead tells him it's summertime, and the girls are going to be all gone because of it. But it turns out some of the nurses wrote "Get Well Soon," but Butthead decides to lie to Beavis, saying no one wrote anything, and it bums Beavis out. But that's the episodes. But they do react to a music video where there's these two dudes. I don't know who the artist is, my bad. And they're using puppets, and the duo make fun of the Muppets in Sesame Street, which I thought was funny. But yeah, these two episodes were definitely funny. They actually made me chuckle a little. But the next episode, I think, is going to be the last one. It comes out a day after my birthday, so that's a plus. And it's going to have the possible return of Cornholio. So we shall wait and see what they're going to do with that. But if it is the last episode, I really hope they do a season 4. And they put this season on Paramount Plus, so I can rewatch the whole season. Not have to worry when it's going to be on cable. But yeah, these two episodes definitely a 7 out of 10 for sure. So yeah, I don't know what else to say. But if this is the end, I hope that we do get a season 4, like I said. And we will continue to get Beavis and Butthead content. So anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you all next time.